What's up, family? It's your boy LC. We back on it today. We just going through the algorithm right now because we less than 7 days out from Nipsey's 3rd-year anniversary. So it's a lot going on and whatnot. So what we gonna do is we gonna hit news right here. Okay, so we went over this yesterday. This was like mass circulated on some Associated Press type shit. So we see a lot of news about Tanisha Foster and her demands for full custody. There was another article right here. Nipsey Hussle's estate. Songwriter drops creditor's claims after fighting rapper's family for years. This revolved around the record Hustle and Motivate off of Victory Lap. It seems like they hashed out their situation at a court. They came to some sort of settlement, and it seems like this situation has alleviated itself. So there's no issues on that end. All right, here's Dave East, aka Not From Harlem, aka Wants to Be Nipsey, aka he's from everywhere but Harlem. And I'm not hating on homie. I actually know him in real life. Like, we run into each other a handful of times. He a cool dude, bro. He kind of like the game. You feel me? Like the hood go embrace him, cause no homo, but he a decent looking man and he attracts females. You feel me? So anyhow, it says while discussing his new HDIGH project in an exclusive interview with HL, Dave East spoke about his bond with the late Nipsey Hussle, working with the Queen, Mary J. Blige, and more. Though Dave East reps Harlem, part of his heart will forever be in the Crenshaw neighborhood of Los Angeles, thanks to his friendship with the late Nipsey Hussle. Dave became close with Nipsey before his untimely death in 2019 and appeared on a handful of Nipsey's tracks, like Clarity, Down the Road, and Chosen. However, as Dave tells Hollywood Life, the spirit of Nipsey lives on in his new project. It's like 9 tracks, he says in the exclusive interview above, entirely produced by Mike N. Keys. Now, mind you, as a side note, Mike Keys was Nipsey's right-hand man with the production shit. So I heard in an interview earlier that an interview with Buddy that Nip used to share a space, or Mike Keys shared a space. I think it was with 1500 or Nothing. So that would have been in Englewood. So that's just some context right there. They're a production duo I met in LA with Nipsey. That's how I connected with them. Nipsey was my brother, man. Dave tells Hollywood Life. I learned a lot from him. I feel like now the world is seeing everything he had to offer, but I'm just fortunate that I was able to be around him and soak up some of that game. Dave is one who puts his money where his mouth is. In November 2021, Dave took inspiration from Nipsey's Marathon clothing store and purchased his own storefront in his native Harlem. I don't know what native Harlem they referring to, but that boy not from there. Bought my first store today, Dave captioned an Instagram post that featured him proudly showing off the keys to his new business. I told Nipsey he laid the blueprint for real ones everywhere. Wish Shooter could see this shit. Coming soon, 2022. Couldn't have made this happen without real estate agent Michelle Smalls, the realist. Now, when it comes to King Shooter, that was Dave East's right-hand man. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but it's some funny shit around that. I'm just going to leave it at that. So HDIGH is short for How Did I Get Here? He says, I'm not like a character. I don't put on a rap Superman outfit and come out here act like something I'm not. I'm authentic. All right, man. You might be authentic in terms of being a solid brother, but in terms of all that gang shit you be talking about that you started talking about when you was 29, 30 years old, you feel me? After you started wiggling around Nip, who had you signed to a marathon agency deal, you feel me? Come on now, man. You telling stories about every other Harlem legend except yourself. During the exclusive video interview with Hollywood Life, Dave talks about his experience of working with Mary J. Blige. Okay, we don't care too much about this part. So now that's that. This is what I want to pull up. So Buddy, as y'all remember, he was on Status Symbol 1, 2, and 3. Specifically 3, though, is probably what most y'all know. Now, Buddy recalls lean fight with Nipsey Hussle and talks unreleased collaboration. Buddy was one of Nipsey Hussle's closest collaborators before his timely death, or his untimely death, I'm sorry, fam, in March 2019, appearing on all 3 installments of his Status Symbol series, but their bond extended beyond the booth in sometimes hilarious fashion. During a recent interview with Homegrown Radio, the Compton native reflected on his relationship with Neighborhood Nip and recalled the time they had a lean fight in the car on their way home from a Las Vegas trip. I remember one time me, Nipsey, and BH went to Vegas randomly. You remember what he said when Nip said in Killer? He said, I remember them late nights, drove to Vegas, crossed them state lines, finally did it just take time. He said that on Mailbox Money in 2014. Anyhow, we drove there. We had a great time. We're headed back to LA from Vegas. These niggas had a lean fight in the car, he remembered. I don't know who started it. It might have been Nipsey to throw some water like, splash. His security guard, J-Rock, was like, hell nah. There's nothing else to throw. Like, all the water is gone. All the Gatorade is gone. And these niggas, like, sips lean. 500, 1,000, 2,000. I'm in the backpack. Like, I don't want to be sticky. Pause. We had to stop at the gas station and change. These niggas is crazy. I miss that nigga. So he's basically talking about, hold on, let me play this shit.
I initially met Nipsey and started locking in with him through Mike and Keys. And I started going over there every day. And they shared the studio with Nipsey.
Right.
You're not going to hear the audio too well on that, the way I got this shit set up. But he explained the whole situation. Like, basically, niggas ran out of water and whatever else juices they had or fluids in the car. Pause. And they started, like, throwing lean at each other, like, just playing around and whatnot. But that shit is, like, crazy expensive. Just look at Rimpa on the streets right now selling pints for, like, $5,000, $10,000. You see what I'm saying? This shit really got the culture in the grip right now. I got a lot of brothers in precarious situations because, you know, whereas in the crack era, you get your, like, little 2 for $5, whatever you get. Nowadays, it's like to sip a line of lean, you're gonna have to dish out at least like 250, 300. You know, and this is me gauging based off of legal paperwork and documents and just you know, overall dealing with clients that are running into situations, especially when it comes to this drug. So it says Buddy also spoke about his experiences working with Nipsey Hussle, who he met through production duo Mike and Keys, and how their Status Symbol collaborations came out. It's different moods, he said. I feel like Status Symbol 1 was work mode. This nigga was locked in trying to make songs, and he called me like, hey, I need you to do this hook. Just do whatever, you got it. And then the second one was like, we need to run this back, bro, you hard. And then the third one, that was my song. I made that song for me. I left the verses open because I was going to come back and rap on it. I got out the shower and Mike called me like, you made the album, bro, Victory Lap. You on there. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? I pull up to the studio. This nigga got 2 verses. Despite his shock at having his song unexpectedly swiped, Buddy was grateful for the opportunity. Nipsey's Victory Lap will go on to be nominated for Best Rap Album at the 2019 Grammy Awards, while Status Symbol 3 ranks as Buddy's most viewed on YouTube with over 41 million plays. There goes that number 41. If you know, you know. I was like, bruh, I really appreciate this. Thank you. The 28-year-old remembered. We shot the video. It was awesome. Nipsey Hussle and Buddy Status Symbol series may not be over yet, with the Harlan and Alondra MC hinting at the arrival of a 4th song. Oh, damn, that'd be fire, because that's one of my favorite, like, sequels or trilogies that Nip got. With specific song titles or themes. It's a 4th one out there somewhere. Y'all just gotta wait, he teased. I'm working on some postpartum. Watch Buddy's Homegrown Radio interview in full below. Anyhow, that's let's see. I think that's just about it in terms of recent news. There's something about Lauren London here saying she getting derailed. I don't know so much about that. And then there was this, Jay Stone. When Nipsey Hussle was shot, I ran every light to get there. Nip's legacy and his victory lap. Okay, so I'm not going to read this whole thing here. There's an interview behind it that I'm going to watch myself. But what basically Jay Stone is saying is that he ran every light as if he was in, he got that call and there was something he could do about it, and that he got there expeditiously. T.I. voice. Now, I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't even gonna attach your opinion to it, but y'all know what I know. Y'all know what I'm thinking. At least some of y'all do. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's the latest Nipsey news. We're gonna cover this every day, leading up to his 3rd-year anniversary. 3 is obviously a big number for many reasons, so stay tuned. Love, y'all.